Yeah, good evening, everybody. Please. So, please. This weekend, I happened to meet few of my friends, students, two, three students. Some have cracked, and some could not clear. I got to know that we have result even at 252 and 254, and we don't have result even at 274, 270, and 265. So the point is कि रिजल्ट तो बैलेंस्ड मार्किंग से आएगा, बैलेंस्ड प्रिपरेशन से आएगा. One subject might push you to the level of interview, but apart from that one subject you need some supportive subjects also. बाकी लोग भी तो सपोर्ट करेंगे, फाइनल रैंक तो तभी आएगा. So see the variation, see the result. 30th rank 277, 54th rank Kashish, she got 272. 274 में रिजल्ट है ही नहीं और 252 254 में रिजल्ट है. जिसके 274 है रिजल्ट नहीं है, आई स्ट्रेट अवे आस्क्ड कि ऐसे में कितना था. ऐसे में 110 था. आर यू गेटिंग, आर यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग द डायनेमिक्स? So try to understand dynamics. We are not in college और यूनिवर्सिटी. यहाँ पर परसेंटेज का गेम नहीं है, यहाँ तो फर्स्ट 800 फर्स्ट 900 वो कैंडिडेट का गेम चल रहा है. Okay, fine. So let us come to the class. So few of our friends have joined us today, online and offline. So I welcome to them. And at the same time, I would like to clarify certain things. Look, entry points to these optional classes are two, either Indian or Western. If we start with Indian, then I give reference to Western. जब भी Western होगा, they will understand that comparative, that analogy, and that interlinking. If we start with Western, then I would be giving reference to Indian. जब भी Indian होगा, you will understand the interlinkages, comparative. So those who have joined us today, their batch starts now. आज से उनका नया बैच शुरू है. जो भी रेफरेंस आएगा इंडियन का, so just keep hold. Whenever we will take up Indian, they will be able to compare and understand the linkages. It is not like something कि हमारा कुछ छूट गया. That is like that is like a kind of baseless thing. Okay, so feel free, and your batch is starting today. Fine. So see, we will be seeing Western, and before picking up any topic in Western, first of all, we create, as usual, big picture. What exactly this Western is all about? What this syllabus is all about? That has been our usual practice, and that gives you a broad overview, a perspective. Look, this is what the Western is. ये philosophers हैं, ये philosopher, Indian philosophers का ये agenda है. With that keeping in our mind, then we will pick up one topic, and one by one we will pick up. So you will understand, what their background is. Your topic is, syllabus is like topic number 1 to I think 11, we have Western, and 12 onwards, Indian philosophy is there. Now this Western philosophy syllabus is divided into 3 units. Syllabus is not mentioning. So we will see what these 3 units are. In unit 1, that is of ancient philosophers, or you can say Greek philosophers. From ancient philosophy, we have 2 philosophers, okay, Greek philosophers. You must have heard their name. One is Plato. and his student Aristotle. This is what our unit 1 is, that is of ancient philosophers. So Plato is there and his student Aristotle is there, and master of Plato is Socrates. He is not in our syllabus, hence we will not discuss him. Passing reference kahin pe aa gaya to aa gaya, otherwise we are not supposed to see Socrates no matter how great philosopher he was. Syllabus में नहीं है तो भाई नहीं पढ़ेंगे. It is as simple as anything. But yes, Socrates might be required in your paper 4 ethics. वहाँ पे जरूरत है. And I think twice his quote have been asked in paper 4. Now this is unit 1, and from unit 1, one question is certain. It's 100%. एक question तो आना ही है, and it is a matter of chance. Sometimes rare 2 questions come. तो 1 ही क्यों आएगा, 2 क्यों नहीं आएंगे? वो इसलिए that look, Plato comes on the scene and he gives his philosophy, his theory. इसलिए क्या, वो तो हम पढ़ेंगे, we will see that. He comes and he gives some kind of description, his philosophy, his theory. He explains reality. After him, after Plato, his student Aristotle comes, and he behaves as a true philosopher. And behaving as a true philosopher means not to accept things as granted. Taking things with critical perspective. If you are accepting things as granted, I mean, that's not a philosophy. That's like dogmatic. You have adopted dogmatic approach. कि जो जैसा बोल रहा है वैसे ही मान लो. Perhaps that was the reason that Socrates, you must have read that he was given death sentence, because he was not accepting things as granted and he was questioning the things कि भाई क्यों, कैसे, क्या होगा, ऐसा तो नहीं हुआ, या आप बोल रहे हैं वैसा होगा क्या, something like that. आपने ये किया, इसके क्या क्या फायदे हैं, क्या क्या नुकसान है. Hence state thought कि यार ये सवाल बहुत पूछता है, eliminate him. So philosophy means a critical perspective, not taking things as granted, questioning and seeking justification. So Aristotle comes and he says, he critically examines his master's teaching, very good student, ardent disciple of Plato, and says, sir, whatever you have given is perfectly fine. You made a great attempt and you have given very beautiful philosophy. But I don't agree with you on these points. Point number 1, point number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And says, sir, according to me, these points should have been like this. 1 should have been like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In this process, we see Aristotle's philosophy is developed. Hence, if question comes on Plato, will you be writing criticism of Plato? Of course. And hence you will be taking help of Aristotle. And if question comes on Aristotle, of course, definitely you have to give a background of Aristotle, that in what background he is saying. Aristotle आएगा तो अपने कुछ philosophy देगा ना, तो भाई हवा में ही थोड़ी दे देगा, कुछ background होगा. And that background, for that we have to give reference to Plato. Look, this is what Plato had given very briefly. And these were the problems, and Aristotle has come to rectify those problems. इसलिए हम कह रहे हैं कि whichever philosopher is asked, either Plato and Aristotle, you are supposed to give reference to both of them. Hence, one question तो आएगा, because it belongs to separate unit, and one question is certain. I think last to last year, 2 questions were there. That's a matter of chance. Okay. Now, once unit is over, I have made a line. That means whatever we will discuss and whatever terminologies and concepts are there, that would be ending and we will be making a fresh start. Hence, there won't be any hangover in the subsequent philosophers. प्लेटो एरिस्टोटल खत्म हो गया भाई, अब दोबारा से शुरू करेंगे फ्रेश जर्नी, एंड न्यू फिलोसोफर विल कम आउट विद सम न्यू टर्मिनोलॉजीज. So we will be referring previous philosophers, especially philosophers from previous unit, only when required. Otherwise, we won't. Hence, we come to second unit. And second unit is of modern philosophers. We don't have medieval philosophy. We don't have medieval thinkers. It does not mean that medieval times we don't have great philosophers. We have great philosophers. लेकिन भाई वो हमारे सिलेबस में नहीं है, तो सिलेबस में नहीं है तो हमें उनसे कोई भी मतलब नहीं है, क्या वो कितनी बेहतरीन फिलॉसफी देते हैं. Hence we jump to the modern philosophy. When we come to modern philosophy, modern Western philosophy, then we find that there are certain philosophical trends, philosophical thoughts, some debatable issue. हर एज में कोई न कोई थॉट्स होते हैं, हमारी एज में भी है. Ever since man has come, is some thought, a view, a perspective, a philosophy dominated that era. That thought either must be a manifestation of contemporary socio-economic, political, religious conditions, or some people are visionary, they anticipate what is going to come. वो 20 साल, 30 साल, 50 साल की बाद की चीजें देखते हैं. उन्होंने कुछ कहा, we said, अरे क्या बोल रहा है यार ये. But he is studying the trend, and basis on that he visualizes, he gives his thoughts, and he anticipates. आज भी हमारी सोसाइटी में से, if you are habitual of reading some good books, you will find 50 years down the lane, क्या? Isn't it? And glimpses of that we are seeing in our present time. With AI and all these latest technology, now we are saying that in time to come, Homo sapiens are going to transform into Robo sapiens. वो दिन दूर नहीं है जब हमारे अंदर चिप लगी हुई होगी. Isn't it? And beginning has been made. So, हर एरा में कुछ philosophical thoughts होते हैं. जैसे हमारे एरा में क्या थॉट्स हैं? थॉट्स आर लाइक व्हिच यू स्टडी इन जी. एनवायरमेंटलिज्म, फेमिनिज्म, राइट विंग, फंडामेंटलिज्म, रिलीजियस और कल्चरल फंडामेंटलिज्म, पोस्ट मॉडर्निज्म, isn't it? ग्लोबलाइजेशन. ग्लोबलाइजेशन अपने आप में एक शब्द नहीं है, अपने आप में कोई एक पर्टिकुलर स्पेसिफिक सब्जेक्ट, स्पेसिफिक टर्मिनोलॉजी नहीं है. इट रिप्रेजेंट्स ए क्लस्टर ऑफ वैल्यूज. Exactly in the same way, in philosophy, there were in modern times different philosophical thoughts, philosophical trends, which had become a matter of debate in the philosophical circle. One of such trend in philosophy was rationalism. One of the thought was rationalism. अब rationalism क्या? Rationalism give dominant role to reason. See, we are coming from modern era, we are coming from medievalism, isn't it? Modern कहाँ से आया? Medieval से आ रहा. और medieval में क्या था? What was absent? Reason, questioning, ability to think, and medievalism was known as dark age, taking things as granted. तो but obvious, जब medievalism खत्म होगा, या जब खत्म होगा नहीं, वो medievalism किससे खत्म होगा? रीजन से. And hence in Europe we had Renaissance, assertion of reason, assertion of questioning. हमें इन सब की जरूरत नहीं है. I'm just giving you background that help you in other areas. Questioning, and as people started questioning कि भैया क्या चल रहा है बताओ भाई. And hence people started questioning in religion. At one point of time यूरोप में क्या चल रहा था? लेटर ऑफ इंडल्जेंस. क्या भाई हेवन में सीट बुक करनी है? अच्छा हेवन में सीट चाहिए, ओके ला 500 रुपये थे, पैसे लेके उस पर साइन करके ठप्पा लगा के ले भाई जा बुक हो गई. दैट वाज लेटर ऑफ इंटेलिजेंस. तो किसी ने सवाल पूछा कि भाई ये क्या रेलेवेंस क्या है, ये इसका प्रूव करो तो ये क्या चल रहा है तुम्हारा. और जैसे लोगों ने सवाल करना शुरू करा, वी हैड रिफॉर्मेशन, रिलीजियस रिफॉर्मेशन, isn't it? So in modern we had rationalism, and rationalism is giving due importance or more importance to reason. मतलब इनका ये मानना है कि reason is the ultimate source of our knowledge. All knowledge are derived from our reason, where role of experience is zero. Experience can work further. जो भी रीजन से नॉलेज आ रही है, एक्सपीरियंस कैन वर्क फर्दर, बट एक्सपीरियंस विल नॉट बी द सोर्स ऑफ नॉलेज. इनका मानना है कि नॉलेज मीन्स दैट विच इज सर्टेन, दैट विच इज डेफिनेट, दैट विच इज यूनिवर्सल. जो नॉलेज मेरे लिए है वही नॉलेज आपके लिए है. वेरिएशन थोड़ी होगा, ऑब्जेक्टिविटी होनी चाहिए नॉलेज में. वेरिएशन किस में होगा? वेरिएशन तो बिलीफ्स में होगा. माई बिलीफ इज डिफरेंट, योर बिलीफ इज डिफरेंट. लेकिन बट व्हेन इट कम्स टू नॉलेज, देन इट शुड बी डेफिनेट, सर्टेन, यूनिवर्सल एंड ऑब्जेक्टिव. इनका यह मानना है कि ऐसी नॉलेज हमें एक्सपीरियंस से नहीं मिल सकती, because all things based on experience are contingent, subjective. तो वो नॉलेज कहां से मिलेगी? रीजन से मिलेगी. एंड हेंस दे गिव more importance to reason over experience. इसका मतलब ये हुआ, या if I ask you, which discipline is purely based on reason? तो कौन सा डिसिप्लिन इज बेस्ड प्योरली ऑन रीजन? नॉट साइंस. साइंस तो एक्सपीरियंस बेस्ड है, दैट इज मैथमेटिक्स. हेंस वी विल फाइंड दैट ऑल रेशनलिस्ट फिलोसोफर्स हियर आर मैथमेटिशियन. वो सारे मैथमेटिशियंस हैं, राइट? ओके. तो व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इट मीन्स दैट कि हमारी नॉलेज रीजन से आएगी? इसका मतलब यह है दैट दे आर सेइंग दैट ऑल आवर नॉलेज इज इनेट. ऑल आवर नॉलेज इज इनेट. इनेट मतलब जन्मजात. जन्मजात मतलब वी आर बॉर्न विथ कंप्लीट नॉलेज. When we take birth, we have all the knowledge. क्यों? क्योंकि नॉलेज एक्सपीरियंस से तो आएगी नहीं इनके हिसाब से. फिर भी मेरे पास नॉलेज है, तो वो नॉलेज कहां से है जब एक्सपीरियंस से नहीं आ रहा था? Nothing is going to come from outside world. That means logically it implies that I am born with complete knowledge. Getting? So all knowledge is innate. What exactly it means? It means, suppose one person is riding a horse, and this horse is walking. What this person does, he whips it. एक चाबुक मारता है, and this horse starts running. उसने चाबुक मारा, and this horse started running. And now horse claims, hey, look, I have learned the art of running. मैंने आज एक नई चीज सीखी. Your focus is on नहीं. मैंने एक आज नई चीज सीखी, भागना. But rationalist would say that no, you did not learn anything new. आपने कुछ नया सीखा ही नहीं. क्यों? Because the art of running was already implicit in the horse. It is only that horse had forgotten that art of running. वो पहले से ही था उसमें. That whipping provided an occasion for the manifestation of that running. जैसे ही चाबुक पड़ा, रनिंग जो कि डॉर्मेंट था वो एक्टिव हो गया, and it got manifested and horse started running. Now, according to rationalists, is this running a new activity? Yeah, no, it was already present in the horse. Hence, is it derived from experience or is it innate? Innate. That's a rationalism. And that's where we say that rationalists give emphasis or supremacy to reason over experience in the knowledge formation, in the origin of knowledge. हमारी सारी knowledge, according to them, is derived from reason. Hence, we find all three philosophers we have are mathematicians. Sum of angles of a triangle is equal to 180 degree. Did anybody experience this? No. किसी ने कहा और हमने मान लिया, अच्छा यार ऐसा होता है कि 180 डिग्री, ठीक है, डन. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, ये क्या हमने एक्सपीरियंस करा? शुरू में किसी ने नंबर सिस्टम ऐसा बना दिया और हमने मान लिया. मैथ्स में तो कुछ भी ऐसा नहीं है जिसकी एक्सपीरियंस बेस्ड हो. Hence, all our knowledge is innate. Innate, we can also say that such knowledge, innate, is known as a priori. A priori. A priori means prior to experience. Prior to experience. Is that fine? Suppose, now we can take any example. Suppose, till this date, I have never heard or read or seen about entity, object called as pen. ना मैंने सुना, ना देखा, ना पढ़ा, ना किसी ने बताया. I am completely unaware of this entity, object, pen. But according to rationalist, the knowledge of pen is already in me. But this is in dormant state. I have forgotten this. At appropriate time, moment this pen comes in front of me, और जैसे ही सामने आया, immediately I said, hey, this is beautiful pen. कहाँ से खरीदा है? Because moment this pen had come in front of me, it acted, it participated in the dormant idea, and it activated the dormant idea, and that idea of pen got manifested. And I say, hey, this is pen. So, according to rationalist, such knowledge is new or was already present. This is the view of rationalist. Now we see that in rationalism, as a rationalist philosophers, we have three philosophers. Okay? We have three philosophers. One is Descartes. Descartes is the first philosopher, mathematician, great mathematician. अब ये मैथमेटिशियन है, तो ये सारी चीजें जो भी ये बोलेंगे, जो भी ये प्रूव करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, ये कैसे प्रूव करेंगे, कैसे बोलेंगे? इन मैथमेटिकल लैंग्वेज। ये सारी चीजें कैसे प्रूव करने की कोशिश करेंगे? जस्ट एज दे आर प्रूविंग सम इक्वेशन और मैथमेटिकल थ्योरम। इट इज एज गुड एज कि भाई इनसे किसी ने कहा डज गॉड एग्जिस्ट, तो ये क्या करेंगे? रुक भाई, एक पेन और पेपर निकालेंगे, एंड देन दे विल से लेट गॉड इज इक्वल टू 100, and then they will proceed, and at the end they will say hence God necessarily exists, hence proved, QED। वो कागज प्रूव करके दे देंगे, ले भाई प्रूव कर दिया गॉड को, बोलना मत बात, बिकॉज ही इज ए मैथमेटिशियन। ये सारी चीजें मैथमेटिकल थ्योरम के पर्सपेक्टिव से देखने वाले हैं। क्यों? बिकॉज देयर इज अ डोमिनेंट इन्फ्लुएंस ऑफ मैथ्स ऑन देयर लाइफ, ऑन देयर थिंकिंग, ऑन देयर एक्शन। So Descartes, we had the first philosopher according to our syllabus. Descartes had come and had given some philosophy. However, at some places he deviated from his basic philosophy of rationalism. And since he deviated from rationalism, probably might be he accepted certain things which are not based on reason, rather they are based on experience. And since those things are based on experience, Descartes becomes inconsistent. Isn't it? Inconsistent क्यों? क्योंकि भाई आप अपने आप को क्या क्लेम कर रहे हो और आप चीजें मान रहे हो on the basis of, hence you become inconsistent. This inconsistency would be removed by subsequent philosopher, and that would be Spinoza. And what rationalist thought started with Descartes, Spinoza will take it to another level. जो कमी पेशी डेकार्ट की थी वो ये दूर करेंगे, and now we find more maturity of rationalism. But while taking up rationalism to another level, he would be accepting certain things which is like not acceptable, or he won't be able to justify, or some problems we will finding some problems in his philosophy. Again, he becomes inconsistent, and these inconsistencies will be picked up by next philosopher, and that next philosopher is Leibniz. You must have heard name of Leibniz, mathematician, physicist, contemporary of Newton. Many things which have been attributed to Newton, it is said that all those things have been given by Leibniz. लेकिन Leibniz was a bit lazy by nature. उन्होंने अपने पेपर पब्लिश करे नहीं, and hence it is said that credit goes to Newton. What we are trying to understand, the level of Leibniz. He is of that level. Newton के level के हैं भाई. So he will pick up what the thought process started by Descartes, extended by Spinoza, and Leibniz will take this rationalism to the climate. He will take to the highest reach of climate rationalism. जहां तक जा सकता है rationalism, ये वहां ले जाएगा. So much so that in his philosophy we will find that 100% things are innate. 100% things are innate. Not a single thing is derived from experience. Role of experience would be zero. And hence, that we find Leibniz, hence we can say that climax of rationalism reaches in Leibniz. Fine. a new trend, rationalism. Another trend just opposite to rationalism, diametrically opposite to rationalism, we had empiricism. And just opposite to rationalism means they give more importance to experience. And they say that experience is the ultimate source of knowledge. हमारी सारी knowledge is derived from experience, from sensation, from perception. And role of reason is zero. There is no role of reason in the origin of knowledge. Reason can work upon further what we got through sensation, through experience. Reason उस पे काम कर सकता है, but the origin, the source of knowledge is, according to them, experience. और ये knowledge हमें बाहर से आ रही है. That means we will find here that one of the philosophers says that at the time of birth, child's mind is tabula rasa. Child's mind is tabula rasa, that is blank slate. Just as this board is blank, nothing is written over it, in the same way, at the time of birth, child's mind is like tabula rasa, blank slate. As this child experiences those sensations, becomes raw material for the formation of knowledge. जैसे जैसे एक्सपीरियंस होता जाएगा उसके पास रॉ मटेरियल आता जा रहा है और उस रॉ मटेरियल से उसकी नॉलेज बनती जा रही है और बढ़ती जा रही है. But one thing is certain, that at the time of birth, child's mind is tabula rasa, blank slate. Just diametrically opposite, if we take rationalism, then we find that at the time of birth, child's mind is completely filled with innate ideas. तो वहां पर माइंड पूरा भरा हुआ है, यहां पर माइंड बिल्कुल खाली है. And hence they give importance to reason, supremacy of reason over experience, and they give supremacy of experience over reason. अब जब एक्सपीरियंस को मान रहे, जब एम्पिरिसिस्ट है, तो वन थिंग इज वेरी क्लियर, एजेंडा बिल्कुल क्लियर हो गया, that they are going to accept only those things which are based or which are given in and through experience. इनका एजेंडा बिल्कुल क्लियर है कि भाई एक्सपीरियंस करा दे मान लूंगा, एक्सपीरियंस नहीं कराया नहीं मानूंगा, कम वॉट में, फिर चाहे कुछ भी हो जाए. कुछ भी हो जाए मतलब नो मैटर फिलॉसफी कैसी बनती है, आई एम नॉट कंसर्न विद दैट, इजंट इट. मतलब कैसी भी बनती है मतलब, आई मीन दैट पॉइंट वी विल सी कि जब आप इतने विगरसली आप करोगे तो कुछ वियर्ड से रिजल्ट आने वाले हैं. तो ये कहेंगे कि यार मैं क्या करूं, मेरा एक्सपीरियंस तो ये कहता है. We will see that. Hence, just as here we had three philosophers, here also we have three philosophers. One is Locke, John Locke. He is known as father of empirical thought. He had given theory of tabula rasa. He initiated empiricism, a philosophy of empiricism in philosophy. But while giving his philosophy, he deviated from his empiricism and had accepted certain things which are not based on experience, rather they are based on, hence he becomes inconsistent. Though he is known as father of empirical thought, but yet he becomes inconsistent, and those inconsistencies will be picked up by next philosopher, and that is Berkeley. Hence, he will carry this empiricist thought to another level. जो शुरुआत करी है, जो कमियां हैं, अब बर्कले उन कमियों को दूर करेंगे and will take to another level. While taking to another level, he will also become somewhere compromising with empiricism. क्योंकि कुछ ऐसी जगह फंसेंगे जहां पर ये कहेंगे यार एक्सपीरियंस के बेसिस पे सारी चीजें थोड़ी पता लगती है, कुछ हमें वैसे मान भी लेनी चाहिए. तो जैसे ही ये इन्होंने बोला यार कुछ वैसे ही मान लेना चाहिए, वहीं पे ये फंसेंगे and hence they will become inconsistent. And hence this sequential development of empiricism will be picked up by third philosopher, and that would be Hume. And he will take empirical thought to the logical end, to the climax, to the highest reach. वो एम्पिरिसिज्म को बिल्कुल एंड तक ले जाएंगे. So much so that he will say that I am not going to accept anything come what may, which is not based on experience. And hence we will find some kind of results which would be difficult to accept. It would be very tough to accept कि यार ये बोल क्या रहा है, मतलब यार ये तो होता ही है ना भाई. तो ह्यूम कहेगा यार ये होता ही है ना का मतलब है कि यू आर हैबिचुअल ऑफ दोज थिंग्स. आपने कभी सोचा ही नहीं. किसी ने कहा सदियों से चलता आ रहा है, तो आपने कहा यार ऐसा तो हो रहा है ना यार, हजारों लाखों साल से ऐसा हो रहा है, तो अलग स्पेशल क्या बात कर रहा है. तो ह्यूम तो सिंपल सी एक चीज बोलेगा कि भाई मेरे, मुझे तो सिर्फ ये बता दे कि ये एक्सपीरियंस से प्रूव कर सकता है या किसी और से. So we will see that empiricism जब हाईएस्ट रीच पे जाता है तो क्या रिजल्ट मिलेंगे, और जब रैशनलिज्म जब हाईएस्ट एंड पे जाएगा तब क्या रिजल्ट मिलेंगे. Hence we say that empiricism reaches to climax in the Hume's philosophy. तो हमारे वेस्टर्न फिलॉसफी में हमारे सिलेबस के अकॉर्डिंगली नाउ वी हैव टू diametrically opposite philosophy, rationalism and empiricism. And hence now there is a debate, there is a justification, counter justification, an intense debate in western philosophy कि नॉलेज कैसे बनती है. ये कहता है रीजन से, ये कहता है एक्सपीरियंस से. एंड दोनों के अपने अपने आर्ग्यूमेंट्स हैं, अपने अपने जस्टिफिकेशन है. If they are known as a priori, then empiricist would be known as a posteriori. A priori and a posteriori. So we have rationalism and एम्पिरिसिज्म. दोनों के अपने अपने आर्ग्यूमेंट्स हैं, लेकिन हमारा मुद्दा वहीं की वहीं है कि भैया नॉलेज कैसे बनती है वो तो बताओ यार, क्योंकि वो रिजॉल्व नहीं हुआ. ये रीजन से बनती है या एक्सपीरियंस से बनती है, क्योंकि दोनों जो बोल रहे हैं वो तो हमें दोनों ही सही नजर आ रहे हैं. तो एट द एंड ऑफ डे वी आर स्टिल क्लूलेस दैट हाउ my knowledge is formed, is a product of reason or is a product of experience. It is in this background now we have one of the greatest philosopher, German philosopher, Immanuel Kant. In this background now we have Kant. And now he will adopt one methodology by which he would be critically examining rationalism and empiricism. And after critical examination of both of them, he would be saying that what you are saying is right. But what you are denying, there you are wrong. रीजन की बात कर रहे हो, सही बात कर रहे हो, लेकिन एक्सपीरियंस का रोल क्यों डिनाई कर दिया तुमने? On the other hand, what you are saying is right, but what you are denying, there you are wrong. That means both are right in what they say, but both are wrong in what they deny. Right? And hence, Kant says, यार मैं बताता हूँ knowledge कैसे बनती है. Now I'll explain what is knowledge and how knowledge is formed. And now he says that knowledge is a joint product of both rationalism and empiricism. And thereby Kant reconciles rationalism and empiricism. He synthesizes rationalism and empiricism, and thereby the whole Western world is filled with great, awe and respect and with great surprise. यार क्या बात बोल दी यार. कि नॉलेज कैसे बनती है? रीजन से और एक्सपीरियंस के जॉइंट प्रोडक्ट से. And it is something like that whole Western world got up and clapped like anything. कि amazing, कमाल कर दिया. And that makes Kant as great. Synthesize the contradictory claims of rationalism and empiricism. And you will be surprised to know that what Kant is saying in 18th century AD, Indian philosophers have already said way back in 6th century BC, 2500 years back. You will see in India. 1000 साल पहले they have already said that knowledge is secured by joint role of reason and experience. And what Indian philosophers have said, that was flawless. And what Kant would be saying after 2500 years later has certain issues. It's not completely flawless. कुछ issues हैं. But anyway, credit goes to Kant. तो भाई जहां पर हमारा कंपैरिजन आ रहा है इंडियन का वेस्टर्न और वेस्टर्न इंडियन, those things are our great weapons. उनको जो मिल रहा है, जो स्टैंडर्ड कंपैरिजन है, उसको पकड़ के बैठ जाएंगे, उसको नहीं भूलेंगे. बिकॉज दीज आर दी पॉइंट्स एंड दीज आर दी रेफरेंसेस वेयर यू मार्क्स गेट जंप. इंक्रीमेंट नहीं होता है, 4 के 5 4.5 नंबर नहीं है, 4 के 6 होते हैं. दैट यू हैव जंप बिकॉज you have compared across section. Its comparison is not between Western, within Western or within Indian. It is between Indian and Western. And those are standard comparison. आपने कुछ नहीं करना है. You just have to understand. And you just have to recall them. You just have to revise. सही समय पे सही चीज सही जगह निकालना है. That can happen only once when you have conceptual understanding and multiple revision. बगैर 4-5 रिवीजन के आपका हाथ पेन नहीं चलेगा. वो यही नहीं है, that is across. आप चाहे सबसे इजी सब्जेक्ट उठा के पढ़ लो, आप हिस्ट्री पढ़ लो, पॉलिटी पढ़ लो, जो मर्जी पढ़ लो, अगर पेन चलना है तो उसके लिए 4 से 5 रिवीजन बेयर मिनिमम वो चाहिए ही चाहिए. As far as understanding is concerned, you will understand everything in one go. एक बार में ही समझ में आएगा. And till now, whatever we have been discussing, we are understanding that, and that's the base. Okay, so you will have 100% conceptual understanding. You just need to capitalize on that. Capitalize करना सीखें. समझ में आ गया, मजा आ गया, बस फोड़ देंगे, ऐसे काम नहीं चलेगा. You need to work upon that. Western philosophy is all about concepts. एक बार कंसेप्ट आ गया माइंड में, वो आप जीवन भर नहीं भूलेंगे. टर्मिनोलॉजीज भूल जाएंगे. क्या रैशनलिज्म को क्या बोल रहे थे यार, ए प्रियोरी, उसको क्या बोल रहे थे यार, ए पोस्टेरियर, या भूल गया, दिमाग से निकल गया. लेकिन रैशनलिज्म क्या कह रहे हैं, एम्पिरिसिज्म क्या कह रहे हैं. आई मीन, कैन यू रियली फॉरगेट इट इन दिस शॉर्ट डिस्कशन? नो, नॉट एट ऑल. इंडियन फिलॉसफी में कंसेप्ट कम है एंड फैक्ट्स ज्यादा है. वहां पे ले देखिए, एक ही कंसेप्ट है, वही घूम फिर के चल रहा है. वहां पे टर्मिनोलॉजीज फैक्ट्स है. वो कंसेप्ट समझ में आ गया, कहानी समझ में आ गई, फैक्ट्स भी याद हो जाएगा. यहां पर फैक्ट्स नहीं है, टर्मिनोलॉजीज नहीं है, इट्स अ प्योर कंसेप्ट. वी विल सी टुडे. ओके, so we have Kant. Now Kant will be ending at a point where he will not be the full reconciliator. पूरा संपूर्ण 100% synthesis नहीं कर पाए. And he left on certain points which need rectification. उसका solution चाहिए. And that solution would be taken up by next philosopher, that is Hegel. Okay, so now with Hegel or with Kant, we say that unit 2 ends and there begins unit 3. हीगल आप मॉडर्न में डाल सकते हो, हीगल आप यूनिट 3 में डाल सकते हो, विच इज लाइक ऑफ यूनिट 3 इज ऑफ कंटेम्पररी फिलोसोफर्स. कंटेम्पररी फिलोसोफर्स मीन्स लाइक 20th century. Okay, however, the best way or the best placement of Hegel is at the transition. ये ट्रांजिशन रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं, ट्रांजिशन फ्रॉम मॉडर्न टू कंटेम्पररी. मॉडर्न टू कंटेम्पररी के ट्रांजिशन इज लाइक हीगल. क्योंकि अब हीगल जो बोलने वाले हैं, वॉट एवर हीगल सेज, that will not be accepted by Western philosopher in a good light. Whatever Hegel says, that will have instant, sharp, spontaneous reaction. इन्होंने कुछ ऐसा बोल दिया जिसकी वजह से he would be severely criticized. And subsequent philosophers, post-Hegelian philosophers, are basically a kind of reaction to Hegelian philosophy. Or you can say that broadly they are anti-Hegelian, or like they represent critic of Hegel. They are critic of Hegel. To appreciate कि भाई Hegel ने ऐसा क्या कह दिया and why there is such a reaction, we have to wait for that. So first we will do our syllabus till Hegel. And once Hegel is done, then again I will create this chart. And after discussing all those things, again then I will give you a broad picture, a big picture of post-Hegelian philosophers. क्योंकि अभी देने का कोई फायदा नहीं है, you won't understand and you won't appreciate. तो पहले हम सिलेबस हीगल तक करेंगे और हीगल तक करने के बाद में I will create this chart because by that time we would be through with all these philosophers, rationalist, empiricist, Kant and Hegel, and hence we will be understanding their overlapping, their interlinkages, their comparative study within the interlinkages and their relation and comparison with Indian philosophy also. So that chart is going to be there like with very minute details. That is going to consume my one full class. And that would be very comprehensive discussion of that chart, and that will show the interlinkages and comparative study. And that will resolve all your problems regarding comparison and interlinkages once for all time. क्योंकि उसमें इंडियन भी आने वाला है. उस चार्ट को डिस्कस करने के बाद में I would suggest you that at home you recreate that chart on bigger page. Take A3 पेज, अभी तो आपके पास A4 पेज है, आप A3 पेज लें और A3 पेज में उस चार्ट को फिर से बनाएं and leave sufficient space for future edition. क्योंकि जैसे जैसे आप रिवाइज करेंगे आपको और पॉइंट्स आएंगे and you will be writing some kind of key terms of each philosopher then and there itself. तो लेफ्ट में जगह छोड़नी है, राइट में, ऊपर, नीचे, in between philosophers, enough space छोड़ते हुए then you will make that chart with different color pens. Isn't it? You will find I will try to incorporate all those charts on this smart board. Otherwise वहाँ जगह नहीं होती है. It is something like it is going there, it is going this, then it is going Indian, then it goes like this. You know, there are many crisscross lines. And that will give you a complete picture of paper 1, especially Western. That chart is going to do wonders for you. You have to put in some efforts on redrawing on the A3 page. That will really do wonders. आप वो बनाएं और अपने वॉल किसी कॉर्नर में चिपका दें. आते जाते उसको देखते रहें, स्पेशली ड्यूरिंग दैट प्रीलिम्स टाइम, क्योंकि जनवरी फरवरी के बाद में यू ऑफ कोर्स यू वॉन्ट पिक अप ऑप्शनल. तो आते जाते उस चार्ट को भी देखेंगे. यू विल बी ऑलवेज इन टच. Okay, and that will be always in your memory, so that after prelims, whenever you pick up, your memories will get refreshed as soon as possible. Is that fine? Okay. That's our big picture of Western. As far as material and concern and those notes are there, I will discuss comprehensively. Whatever I say, most of the thing will come on the board. Once chapter is over, then I'll give you synopsis. I'll dictate from these booklets only, the booklets which you have got it. आप synopsis को याद करते हुए चले. जिनकी 2 क्लास नहीं है, एक ही क्लास चल रही है, सिर्फ सब्जेक्ट की चल रही है, उनको बुकलेट्स भी पढ़ना चाहिए. जिनकी 2 क्लास चल रही हैं, आई अंडरस्टैंड दे डोंट हैव टाइम, क्योंकि 2.5 घंटे 2 घंटे 5 घंटे की तो क्लास ही हो गई, आना जाना, आई मीन दैट्स अ डिफिकल्ट. लेकिन सिनॉप्सिस जो भी मिल रहा है, हर क्लास के 2 पेज 3 पेज ही मिलेंगे, आप उसको याद करते हुए चलें. एंड योर बिगेस्ट चैलेंज वुड बी टू मूव अलॉन्ग विद द क्लास. दैट वुड बी योर बिगेस्ट चैलेंज. Subject is really short and some of the philosophers are really very short. Even if I move very slow, still they are going to be a matter of probably some philosophers like 30 minutes. उसमें ज़्यादा कुछ है ही नहीं. ओके, तो भाई ये साथ के साथ रटते हुए चलो ना यार, वेट किसका करना है। जब समझ में आ गई चीजें और जब ये पेज मिल गए, 2-3 पेज मिल गए, तो रटते हुए चलो। इनिशियली यू माइट नॉट हैव एनफ बैकलॉग, लेकिन जैसे जैसे आगे चलेंगे तो यू हैव टू सी द क्लास एज वेल एज वॉट एवर वी हैव डन, उनको भी रिवाइज करना है और क्लास में जो हुआ वो भी रटते हुए चलना है। इफ यू आर एबल टू डू दैट, you have won the battle. I hope that's perfectly fine. Okay. We made a rule to understand philosophy, golden rule to understand philosophy, especially Western philosophy, in one go. सर कोई एक ऐसी चीज बताओ ताकि मतलब एक बार में ही समझ में आ जाए, झगड़ा ही खत्म हो। So that golden rule is that we will, whichever philosopher we will be discussing, we will become that at that particular point of time. We will become hardened, blind follower of that philosopher. अगर प्लेटो पढ़ रहे हैं तो एट दैट मोमेंट ऑफ टाइम वी आर ब्लाइंड फॉलोअर्स ऑफ प्लेटो। ब्लाइंड फॉलोवर मतलब किंतु परंतु क्वेश्चंस नहीं रेज होते हैं, अब ऐसे क्या बोल रहा है, ये थोड़ी होता है, ऐसे थोड़ी होता है, खत्म, बिकॉज वी आर ब्लाइंड फॉलोवर ऑफ हिम। ना वो हम चेंज कर सकते हैं, प्लेटो तो बोल के गया, अब हम कहाँ चेंज करें, किसको चेंज करें, क्या करें, वो तो बोल के गया भाई, खत्म हो गया मामला। वो क्या बोल के गया, क्यों बोल के गया, उसके इंप्लीकेशन क्या है, वो हमें समझना है। ओके, moment we change our philosopher, we will change our loyalties. So from hardcore Platonist, if we are taking Aristotle, we will become hardcore Aristotelian. हम अपने लॉयल्टीज चेंज करते रहेंगे और आगे बढ़ते रहेंगे। पढ़ते वक्त किसी भी फिलोसोफर को पढ़ते वक्त उसके लूप होल्स नजर नहीं आने चाहिए, क्योंकि अगर लूप होल्स नजर आ रहे हैं इसका मतलब आप ब्लाइंड फॉलोवर नहीं हो, आप तो उसको पकड़ने की कोशिश कर रहे हो और उसको नहीं पकड़ पाएंगे यार। दे आर ग्रेट पीपल, दे हैव ह्यूज मेंटल कैलिबर। लाइबनीज को न्यूटन के साथ बताने का पर्पज ही सिर्फ इतना है कि भाई ये लोग हल्के लोग नहीं हैं, भारी भरकम लोग हैं, एंड देयर मेंटल कैलिबर इज ऑफ अनदर लेवल। इनको हम नहीं पकड़ सकते, इनसे तो हमें सीखना है, इजंट इट? इनके मेंटल कैलिबर को अप्रिशिएट करना है, एंड वी विल अंडरस्टैंड कमाल है यार, एक ही चीज को ये 10 लोग 10 ढंग से समझा रहे हैं और जिसका सुन रहे हैं यार वही सही नजर आ रहा है यहां पे। That's beauty of their logical arguments and mental caliber. Philosophy does not mean like talking about flying horse है, वो philosophy नहीं है, वो तो मतलब बेसलेस चीज है, वो तो फैंसी चीज है, वो तो फैंटम चीज है। फिलॉसफी का मतलब है कि भैया जो भी बोल रहे हो उसका सॉलिड लॉजिकल रैशनल आर्ग्यूमेंट होना चाहिए, तो बात करो, अदरवाइज चुप रहो भाई। दैट्स वेयर वी आर सेइंग कि भाई ये इतने बड़े लोग हैं कि इनके फ्लाइट ऑफ थॉट, इनके स्पेकुलेशन में भी कोई बात है। आई होप यू आर गेटिंग ओके। So that's like a golden rule that we will be becoming hardened follower and blind follower of that philosopher. We have also, I feel you, most of you have seen that those coming today, they must have seen those demo lectures. If you have not seen, then please go through that one lecture. We have also understood and we have also seen that we are not discussing science, because science is based on observation, experimentation and verification. आप कुछ भी बोल दो साइंस में, आएगा भाई प्रूव कर दे भाई, बात खत्म, और वो साइंस प्रूव करके बताएगा। लेकिन हमारा ये डोमेन साइंस का नहीं है, हमारा डोमेन है ओवर एंड अबव दिस वर्ल्ड। हमारा डोमेन है ये साइंस किसने बनाया, हमारा डोमेन है द ट्रांसेंडेंटल। हमारा डोमेन है कि यार इस वर्ल्ड के बियॉन्ड भी कुछ है क्या। किसी ने कहा रहे हैं ना यार, विष्णु भगवान जी हैं, isn't it? किसी ने कहा प्रूव कर, तो देन आई वुड बी सेइंग यार प्रूव की बात करें तो लेबोरेटरी में चला जा, साइंस पढ़ ले। यहां तो वी आर ट्राइंग टू गो बियॉन्ड साइंस, वी आर ट्राइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड द रियलिटी बाय थिंकिंग, बाय इमेजिनेशन, बाय फ्लाइट ऑफ थॉट। इनको बोल रहे हैं यार, क्या बोल रहे हो भाई, ये तो ग्रेट साइंटिस्ट हैं, इनसे ज्यादा साइंस हम थोड़ी जानते हैं। लेकिन साइंस लेबोरेटरी में काम कर रहे हैं, सुबह से लेकर शाम तक काम कर रहे हैं। जब छुट्टी हो गई, घर आ गए, जब रिलैक्स बैठे हुए, सरप्लस टाइम में बैठे हुए, देन ही इज थिंकिंग यार ये चल क्या रहा है, व्हाट एग्जैक्टली दिस रियलिटी इज देयर एनीबडी हु इज मैनेजिंग ऑल दीज थिंग्स, इज देयर एनी रियली गॉड। अब वो क्या करने लग गया, स्पेकुलेशन करने लग गया, and with imagination, with flight of thought, with speculation, he is trying to crack the clue। यार ये हो क्या रहा है यार, ये where do I fit into this system, मैं कहाँ फिट हो रहा हूँ, from where I have come, where I'll go, what is reality, ये रियल है क्या। and that person says, like Leibniz says, यार रियल कहाँ से होगा ये तो अभी it will get destroyed, and real is that which is sustainable, reality is that which is indestructible। तो ये रियल है ही नहीं, तो जब ये रियल नहीं है तो फिर रियल क्या है। देन वी गेट टू नो यार इस संसार में, इन दिस वर्ल्ड एवरीथिंग इज सब्जेक्ट टू चेंज, प्रोडक्शन एंड डिस्ट्रक्शन। देन आई गॉट टू नो एनीथिंग कम्स इन दिस वर्ल्ड दैट हैज टू गो अवे। मुझे धीरे धीरे समझ में आने लगा यार बर्थ एम्प्लॉइज डेथ, बर्थ का मतलब तो डेथ होता है, तो क्या कोई एक ऐसी चीज है दैट इज बियॉन्ड बर्थ एंड डेथ, दैट इज लाइक इटर्नल। आई वॉन्ट टू लोकेट दैट, आई वॉन्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट। क्यों क्यों समझना चाहते हो, और कोई काम नहीं है। अरे यार कैसी बात कर रहे हो, मैन मीन्स ए क्यूरियस ए क्रिएचर, आई एम फिल्ड विथ क्यूरियोसिटी, आई एम नॉट एनिमल, आई हैव एबिलिटी टू थिंक। तो भाई साइंस एटम्स वो तो सब पता चल गया मुझे, नाउ आई वांट टू गो बियॉन्ड दैट बिकॉज आई हैव द कैपेसिटी टू थिंक, आई एम फिल्ड विथ अनएंडिंग क्यूरियोसिटी एंड दैट क्यूरियोसिटी इज इनेट, आई एम बॉर्न विथ दैट। नो मैटर साइंस हैज डन वंडर्स, science has made us to reach to like moon and different planets and explore space. Science has made our life healthier, easier, qualitative enhancement, stem cell research and this and that, amazing. But still curiosity remains, यार ये चल क्या रहा है यार। Because at one point of time, sooner or later, we confront with certain fundamental questions. When we confront death, when we lose some near and dear ones, then we are forced to think, no matter how great scientist you are, यार ये चल क्या रहा है, what exactly the birth, ये कहाँ चला गया यार, अभी तो ये मेरे साथ था ही, he will never come back। तो कोई सिस्टम है क्या, is there anybody who is managing how this world which is full of order, design, harmony, it's amazing, it's a beautiful, trees are releasing oxygen, I am taking, is a matter of chance, is a matter of accident, or is it like well thought preparation or well thought creation। All these things force me to think. यार इस नेचर को देखो. I mean, you must have seen Discovery Channel. Discovery Channel देख के, it's a mind boggling. यार इस छोटे से क्रिएचर को जीने की कितनी जबरदस्त is having that art, that survival. उसको पता है कि कौन इसको खाएगा. And he has devised ways and means to escape, to save himself. Is it not amazing? एक छोटी सी चीज है यार. So these scientists, physicists, biologists, they are more near to nature. Hence, they have more triggering points. They are amazing phenomena यार. ये amazing phenomena भाई इंसान की बस की बात तो नहीं है. इंसान तो ऐसी चीज नहीं बना सकता. Then they are forced to think, यार क्या है इसके beyond? And here begins the domain of our subject matter, that we call it as like metaphysics, something which is beyond experience, something which could be located just by imagination, by speculation. तो वहां से हमारा डोमेन शुरू होता है. I hope that's fine. In this background, now we will pick up our first philosopher, that is Unit 1. And in Unit 1, we will have first philosopher, of course, Plato. कौन सा बड़ा रखें? So we have, I will try to make it font size bigger, but man is slave of habit. I am habitual to write smaller. Okay, तो बीच बीच में याद दिलाते रहो. I'll try to keep in mind. पहला. दूसरा, मेरा इंटेंशन ये है कि मैं 2 घंटे की क्लास को पूरे बोर्ड पे लेके आऊं. एंड यू शुड सी इन वन गो. वो एक बार में दिखना चाहिए कि प्लेटो ये है, ये है. उससे क्लैरिटी ज़्यादा होती है, अंडरस्टैंडिंग अच्छी होती है, पॉइंट्स रिमेंबर होते हैं, बिकॉज दैट पिक इज कैप्चर्ड इन योर माइंड. इसलिए थोड़ा सा मुझे मैनेज करना होता है. आई नीड टू राइट सम बिट स्मॉलर, बट ठीक है, वी विल ट्राई, है ना. नाउ वी हैव अकॉर्डिंग टू आवर सिलेबस प्लेटो. लेकिन इसका मतलब ये तो नहीं है कि प्लेटो से पहले कोई फिलोसोफर ही नहीं था. प्लेटो से पहले तो भाई इनके मास्टर ही थे, सोक्रेटिस, isn't it? एंड सोक्रेटिस के पहले और उनके कंटेम्पररी भी बड़े फिलोसोफर्स हुए. इसका मतलब ये हुआ दैट प्लेटो इज नॉट फर्स्ट एंड प्लेटो हैज नॉट कम ऑल ऑफ सडन कि लो जी आ जाऊं मैं अपनी फिलोसफी देता हूं. ऐसा तो नहीं हो सकता. इसका मतलब हुआ कि प्लेटो हैज कम इन सम बैकग्राउंड. मतलब कोई मुद्दा चल रहा था, some issue was going on, and in that background Plato comes and he attempts to solve that problem, isn't it? Hence Plato had come in the background of 2 contradictory theories, views and debate. One is all change theory. ऑल चेंज थ्योरी. मतलब प्लेटो से पहले एक व्यू ये था दैट दिस वर्ल्ड इज इन फ्लक्स, दिस वर्ल्ड इज कंटिन्यूअसली चेंजिंग. चेंज इज द रूल ऑफ द यूनिवर्स. देयर इज नॉट ए सिंगल थिंग which is changing. Rather, the view was that when we see this world, I don't find a thing which is changing. Rather, There is ceaseless flow of change. बदलाव का एक प्रवाह चल रहा है. उस बदलाव के प्रवाह के अलावा इस संसार में कुछ भी नहीं है. This view is all change theory. Everything is continuously changing. Everything is in flux. Everything is becoming. Everything is becoming. Because I am changing, you are changing, this pen is changing, everything is continuously changing. You meet me after 10 years, you will find a lot of changes in me. But does it mean that those changes have occurred only when you met me after 10 years? No, that change is still going on. When they become prominent, then they become perceptible. Seed becomes tree. Embryo becomes adult. See, we were first embryo, child, teenage, and we have reached to this. That means everything is continuously changing. It is just as that here, the person who has given this theory, let us not take his name unnecessarily, you will get confused because he is not in syllabus. So he says, he calls his disciple and he asks him that can you bathe twice in this same river? क्या आप इस नदी में दो बार नहा सकते हैं? His disciple says, what said twice? You tell me number, I'll take as many a bath as possible. 10 बार, 20 बार, 50 बार बोलो सर, आप नंबर बोलो. And his teacher says that you have failed in your exam. Why? Because this river seems to be one, but it is not one. It is continuously changing. It is made up of infinite water droplets. They are moving with great rapidity, continuity, steadily, uninterrupted. And when they are moving with great rapidity, it creates an illusion of oneness. हमें एक नजर आती है. It creates an illusion of identity, permanence, unity, just as we see movies on the screen. जब हम स्क्रीन पे मूवी देखते हैं तो हमें एक कैरेक्टर नजर आता है, बोलता हुआ, डायलॉग बोलता हुआ, बातचीत करता हुआ, लेकिन वो एक नहीं है. His every gesture is trapped into certain clippings, and when these clippings are moved very fast, what is created on the screen? Oneness. हमें एक नजर आता है. Otherwise, things are continuously changing. Everything is in flux. This is all change theory. You will be surprised that more or less in the same time period in India, we have one philosopher who is saying same thing, and that is Buddha. And he says everything is kshanik. You cannot bathe twice in the same river. He also talks about illusion of oneness. Table है ही नहीं, river है ही नहीं. It seems to be one क्योंकि वो movements are moving with great speed. This is known as all change theory. Everything, all that which exists in this world is continuously changing. Just opposite to this is another theory, that is no change theory. No change theory. And this view says, where is the change? Why change? I don't find any change. River is a river, tree is a tree, this world is world, कल भी था, आज भी है. When did this river have changed into tree? And when did tree change into rabbit? Yeah, change is there, but it is secondary. Primary thing is permanent. रिवर कल भी थी, आज भी है, कल फिर दिखा दूंगा यार। ये संसार पहले भी था, आज भी है, कल भी रहेगा। Isn't it? I am same person who came yesterday. Within me, of course, within me, some changes are there, definitely. But those changes are not primary. They are secondary. Primary is permanent. And hence, we have two issues, all change theory and no change theory. And here, we talk it about being. That's like being. And this is where we have the problem of being and becoming. The problem of being and becoming. That is no change and all change. नो चेंज दिख रहा है किसी को ऑल चेंज दिख रहा है। किसी ने कहा कि भैया ये संसार सिर्फ फ्लक्स है, किसी ने कहा यार परमानेंट है, यार फ्लक्स कहां से आ गया है। एंड देयर हैज बीन इंटेंस डिबेट। इट इज इन दिस बैकग्राउंड वी हैव one of the greatest philosopher, Greek philosopher, a student of Socrates, that is Plato. And the beauty of Plato is that he would reconcile these two contradictory theories into his philosophy or into his theory. He will synthesize, he will reconcile all change theory and no change theory, and this is where he will be presenting his philosophy, his theory, his view, his thought, or his metaphysics. Done? To explain his theory, how he reconciles, he will take help of various analogies and metaphors. And to understand his analogy and metaphors, let us try to understand how he will reconcile. So we will understand his reconciliation through examples, whatever he has given. Okay? Apart from what examples he has given, let us take one example, what we are tuned with that, what Indian cultural system has been telling us. तो हमारे यहाँ पर एक स्टोरी चलती है, पहले एक वो स्टोरी हम समझते, दैट इज कूप मंडुक, फ्रॉग इन ए वेल। तो कहानी इस तरह है कि एक फ्रॉग था, वो एक वेल में रहता था और उस कुएं में रह के उसको ये लगता था कि भाई मैं तो आई एम किंग ऑफ दिस एंड सी सच ए ह्यूज थिंग इज, कितना सारा पानी है। वो कभी यहां जंप करता था, कभी वहां जंप कर रहा है, कभी इस वॉल पे कभी उस वॉल पे। ही इज एंजॉयिंग हिज फ्रीडम एंड ही इज लाइक दैट such a big, such a huge thing he has been living with. कभी ऊपर देखता है तो देखता है यार इसकी वॉल्स तो इट्स इनफाइनाइट, अनएंडिंग है। पानी को देख रहा है तो इट्स लाइक इनफाइनाइट, अनएंडिंग, इट्स सो डीप, इनफाइनाइटली डीप। एंड हेंस उस फ्रॉग ने अपने उस कुएं को इनफाइनाइट अल्टीमेट मान लिया एंड ही इज एंजॉयिंग हिज लाइफ। किसी दिन किसी तरीके से another frog comes from the ocean, and once that frog comes to that well, the first frog says, आ भाई तू भी आ, देख यार कितना बड़ी चीज है, कितनी बड़ी बड़ी वॉल्स हैं, कभी तू यहां जंप कर कभी वहां जंप कर, you will enjoy. And now that new frog says, my dear friend, where you are living? हाँ यार इतना सही, बाहर निकल, महासागर दिखेगा तुझे, उसका और छोर ही नजर नहीं आएगा तुझे। You won't be able to fathom the depth of ocean. What this first frog says? अरे यार फेंक मत दे, मतलब कुछ भी, भाई तू गेस्ट है, एंजॉय कर, खा पी और कुछ दिनों में निकल. लेकिन दैट अनदर फ्रॉग इज ट्राइंग टू कन्विंस हिम कि भाई मेरे तू बाहर निकल, मैं तेरे को लेके चलता हूं, तेरे को दिखाता हूं एक्चुअल में चीज क्या है. बट द फर्स्ट फ्रॉग विल नॉट एग्री विद दैट. राइट. इसी चीज को प्लेटो विल रिप्रेजेंट इन ए डिफरेंट वे, एंड दैट डिफरेंट वे is famously known as cave analogy. Cave analogy, myth of cave. And now Plato says that imagine that there is one underground cave. For example, this is underground cave. Stairs are there, it is coming down and it is spread into this, and that is the end of cave, that is the back wall of the cave. In this underground cave, it's a hypothetical, right? In this underground cave, there are some prisoners whose hand and feet have been tied, and they are made to see at the back wall. वो सिर्फ सामने देख सकते हैं. Their head is so fixed that they would be able to see only at the back wall. सिर्फ सामने देख सकते हैं. They are sitting in this fashion right from birth. Are they aware that there are stairs? No, they are not aware. So underground cave, this is the stairs coming down, some prisoners are there, and that is the back wall of the cave. And these prisoners, their hands and feet have been tied together, and they are made to see only at the back wall. Behind prisoners, there is one wall, and behind wall, there is some fire. And at the top of the wall, there are many creatures who are moving around. Different creatures, different shapes and size. They are moving around. These prisoners, what they will see at the back wall? Shadows. They will see their shadows. They will see flickering shadows. Because these organisms and these creatures are moving. Hence they find flickering shadows on the back wall. These prisoners are sitting in this fashion right from birth. Hence, for them, this flickering shadows is real for them. It is a reality. And now they are engrossed into that. And they are thinking it as a reality. And they are engrossed into that. और सब ने अपने अपने रिलेशन, अपनी अपनी दुनिया बना रखी है, एंड दे आर एंजॉइंग. मजा आ रहा है जिंदगी में. दे हैव देयर रिलेशनशिप, दे हैव दिस, दे हैव दैट, दे हैव फ्रेंड्स. अपनी एक दुनिया है, एंड दे आर फुली एंजॉइंग. Out of these prisoners, one of the prisoners who is also tied, feeling uncomfortable. He is a bit restless. He is also into this world of reality. But he is saying, यार मजा नहीं आ रहा है. मजा, well, satisfaction आना चाहिए. That contentment होना चाहिए. देखो मजा कहते हैं. मजा पैसे से थोड़ी आता है. मजा सक्सेस से भी नहीं आता. मजा फेम, नेम, ग्लोरी से भी नहीं आता. मजा तो किससे आता है? कंटेंटमेंट. जब आप कंटेंट ही नहीं हो तो भाई 1 लाख करोड़ रुपए भी ले लो ना यार, उसे क्या फर्क पड़ेगा? बिकॉज यू विल बी ऑलवेज रेस्टलेस. तो ही इज लाइक इनटू दैट. मजा नहीं आता. आई एम फीलिंग समथिंग इज लैकिंग इन मी, किसी चीज की कमी महसूस कर रहा हूं, वो क्या है पता नहीं लग रहा, लेकिन ठीक है, फाइन, चल रहा है यार, राइट? दिस इज द सिचुएशन. One day, this person who was a bit restless, who was not enjoying, he got freed. उसके हाथ पैर खुल जाते हैं. So he was already restless and he was already filled with chain of questions. यार ये क्या चल रहा है, कौन हूं मैं, मजा क्यों नहीं आ रहा, इनको बड़ा मजा आ रहा है, ये हो क्या रहा है, चल क्या रहा है. He had lot of questions. That's what he was not enjoying. The moment he got freed, immediately he turned back. अबे चल क्या रहा है देखो तो सही. He saw wall, he saw fire, he got more confused. तो यार ये तो और confusion हो गया, ये हो क्या रहा है. All of a sudden he notices stairs and his curiosity multiplied. उनको यार ये stairs, ये क्या चीज है. And out of curiosity, he becomes bold and courageous to go over there and tries to climb stairs. But climbing stairs was very tough, very difficult. But he was so enthusiastic, filled with so much of curiosity, that he tries again and again. No matter he fails, he says कि नहीं यार, कुछ तो होगा बाहर, मुझे अपने सवालों का जवाब मिलेगा. And with great efforts and hard work and consistent efforts, he finally climbs those stairs and he gets out of the cave. And when he gets out of the cave, he is filled with, he gets mesmerized. He is filled with great surprise because for the first time, he had seen the real red color. Because earlier he was seeing shadow. Look at red color. For the first time he sees flower. He smells and he jumps with joy. यार ऐसी स्मेल तो कभी मिली ही नहीं मुझे. जो स्मेल इसको मिल रही थी, that was only shadow of smell. Because he was living into the world of shadow. And for the first time, he is out of that cave. And he confronted with reality, with the truth. He sees for the first time plants, animals, flowers, human beings, colors, red, green, blue. He is jumping with joy. And now he feels that which was lacking is somewhat getting filled up. Because he is confronting with truth, with reality. He sees sun and get dazzled. He says mesmerized and dazzled. Yaar ye kya cheez hai? And now he understands, okay, it is this sun which is giving meaning and life to these plants, flowers, smell, animals, etc., etc. It is the source of this reality. It is this which is giving life to everything. And immediately he understands, yaar, in cave, actually that fire was casting flickering shadows on the back wall. He understands now. And since he has seen the truth, since he has seen the reality, and now he wants to share, he wants to help the fellow beings. It is just as that if we come across with God, अगर हमें ईश्वर का साक्षात्कार हो गया, of course we would like to share with our fellow beings. After knowing all these things, he rushes back to the cave. And he goes to his prisoner friends and says, hey, my dear friend, अबे ये क्या है, ये तो कुछ भी नहीं है, बाहर देख, बड़ा मजा है, reality है, truth है, you will see for the first time red color, real fragrance. and these prisoners hears him, sees him, and then says, हाँ भाई हो गया तेरा, अब हमको तो मजे लेने दे. But he is so desperate. अबे ये मजे ये नहीं है, मजे रियल मजे बाहर हैं. There is some stairs. So very difficult to climb those stairs, but I will help you out. Huh? I'll show you how to climb. But they are not agreeing. They are so engrossed into the world of shadows that they are not ready to hear anything. And he keep on insisting. भाई मेरे एक बार कहने पे सिर्फ अपने गर्दन घुमा के पीछे देख ले, क्योंकि उसको पता है कि एक बार पीछे देखेंगे तो स्टेयर्स दिखेंगी, एंड हेंस दे विल कम आउट ऑफ देयर डार्कनेस, बट दे विल नॉट. वैसे कि यार डिस्टर्ब कर रहा है यार, हमको बड़ा मजा आ रहा है. व्हाई यू आर मजे में यू आर अननेसेसरीली गिविंग हर्डल्स. He keeps on insisting, so much so that these prisoners got frustrated and they got up and killed him. Tu ja, permanently bahar ja. And again get back to world of shadows and start enjoying. Right? Through this, Plato actually talking with reference to his master, because his master was given bowl of hemlock. He was given death sentence. And this is where Plato says that one who has seen the truth, one who has seen the reality, faces the same kind of fate, because people are not ready to accept it. Through this cave analogy, Plato says that world exists at two levels. That is, he establishes dichotomy of existence. Dichotomy of existence. Dichotomy of existence means world of shadows and world of light, world of sun. And this cave analogy is actually symbolic of that this world of shadows is actually the perceptual world, the world in which we are living, this world in which we are living. See, we are so much engrossed. We are so much engrossed in our day-to-day affairs that we don't get a time to think, yeah, what is beyond this? हमने तो इसी को रियल मान लिया, इसी को अल्टीमेट मान लिया, इसी मजे को मजा मान लिया. So world of shadows is a perceptual world. World of sunlight is symbolic of world of reality, world of truth. Prisoners are symbolic of ordinary beings like us. Their bondage, their hands and feet have been tied. The tying is symbolic of ignorance. We are afflicted with ignorance. We are doomed for darkness, ignorance. We are tied with that ignorance. We are not ready to leave that ignorance. And the person who was restless, who got freed, who went outside and saw the reality, he is symbolic of philosopher. Through this cave analogy, he is trying to say that we are living into the world of shadows, flickering shadows, changing shadows. This world is full of change, flux. And over and above this world, there is a world of reality. There is a world of truth. And that world of reality, will it be changing or unchanging? Unchanging. That's where he had reconciled that this world is a world of becoming. And that world of reality is world of being. Hence he reconciled the problem of being and becoming, no change and all change, by his cave analogy, by establishing dichotomy of existence, and that is two world theory. Two world theory. Cave analogy, myth of cave, allegory of cave, different names. Cave आ जाएगा, किसी को भी phrase लगाएंगे, cave जरूर होगा. That means Plato is saying that this world is like just as moonlight is derivative of sunlight, in the same way this world is derivative of that world of reality. Right? This world is that real manifestation of that reality. That is, just as moonlight is derivative of sunlight, in the same way this perceptual world, the world in which we are living, is derivative of world of reality, truth. Getting? We'll take one more example. It is just as that suppose some alien comes to our world, and when he comes to our world, he is finding everything absolutely new, because he is alien, and whatever he is coming across, he is like everything is alien to him. Is filled with so much of curiosity, he's finding everything new. After some time, he feels hungry. He goes to bakery shop and demands something to eat. That bakery shop wala had given him few cookies, like 5-6 cookies he has given to him. He takes these cookies, pause, notices something, but he is so hungry, he had eaten those cookies. But his hunger is not satisfied. He is still hungry. Hence, he goes again to bakery shop and says, please give me more cookies. I am still hungry. That shopkeeper gives him 20 cookies. And this time, when he takes these 20 cookies, he forgets his hunger. And he is filled with long chain of questions, curiosity, surprise. He is mesmerized. Yaar, what exactly is this? ये 20 cookies देख के he is like filled with n number of questions that how it is possible if the cookies which he had eaten earlier are these cookies are exactly replica of those. ऐसे कैसे possible है? ये तो सेम ही दिख रहे हैं भाई. What he does? He eats them, he crushes them, he breaks them, he destroys them and rushes back to shopkeeper and demands, यार और cookies दे मुझे. Shopkeeper says कि ले भाई 100 cookies ले. And again, to his great surprise, he finds that all these 100 cookies were more or less exact replica of those cookies which he had eaten and destroyed and broken and crushed. If he demands more, then shopkeeper says, "Yaar, come after tomorrow or come after 2 days. I'll give you as many cookies as you want." And again, he is going to find more or less same replica of those cookies only. So, he is finding those cookies, he is crushing them, he is eating them, and he is getting more and more cookies. Almost exact replica. Why? Because that shopkeeper has mold. शॉपकीपर के पास मोल्ड है. वो क्या करता है? उस मोल्ड में इंग्रेडिएंट डालता है, ओवन में डालेगा, बेक करेगा और निकाल के दे देगा. Hence, that shopkeeper has that mold. You ask as many cookies as possible. I'll give you. 100, 200, 1000, no issue. You destroy these cookies, you crush these cookies, you eat these cookies. Whatever you do with these cookies, is it affecting its mold? Not at all. It is not affecting its mold. जो सांचा है उस पर कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला. आप डिस्ट्रॉय करते जाओ, मैं मटेरियल डालता जाऊंगा एंड उसमें से कुकीज निकालता जाऊंगा. All change, isn't it? Or cookies all change and mold no change. And we are like cookies. We are like cookies. We are changing. We are coming. We are going. We are changing. We are in flux. इस cookies में change हो रहे हैं. What we all have our mold. हम आते जाते रहेंगे, चेंज होते रहेंगे, but what is not going to change? Mold. That mold is not going to change. Hence, we are just manifestation of our mold. Even if we all die, nobody remains. What remains? Mold remains. And whenever man comes, whenever human comes, that would be merely manifestation of mold. No change, all change. That's a problem of being and becoming, and that's where Plato is attempting to solve the problem of being and becoming. Getting? This is master copy. This is master copy. I got it photocopy and distributed in the class 100 copies. You took it and you tore and you threw. Is it affecting this? No problem. Tomorrow I'll get 200. And I got it 200. I distributed in the class. And whatever I am discussing, you are writing on those photocopies. आप notes बना रहे हैं. You are jotting down points over there. Whatever you do with that photocopies, is it affecting this? आप जो भी points लिख रहे हो, क्या इस पे आ रहा है? All change, no change. That's where Plato is saying that we all are copies. We all are like cookies. We all are like shadows. We all are manifestation of our mold. We are copy of our mold. We are imitation of our mold. We are living in the world of shadow. And these shadows are like shadows of the ultimate, the reality, the truth. हमारा अपना रियलिटी नहीं है. जैसे जो फोटोकॉपी आपके पास है उसका अपना रियलिटी नहीं है. दैट इज जस्ट मैनिफेस्टेशन ऑफ मास्टर कॉपी. लेकिन आपने उस फोटोकॉपी को ही मास्टर कॉपी मान लिया. एंड यू आर क्लेमिंग दैट लुक आई हैव द मास्टर कॉपी. दैट्स योर इग्नोरेंस. आपने तो इस वर्ल्ड को ही सही मान लिया, इस वर्ल्ड को ही रियल मान लिया. That's your ignorance. That's what Plato is doing multiple purpose. On one hand, he is trying to reconcile the problem of all change and no change. And at the same time, he is also telling us, trying to tell us the reality. And as we proceed, you will understand that he also laid down the purpose of life. He also laid down a purpose of life. We said that that prisoner was restless, was uncomfortable, was not enjoying. मजा नहीं आ रहा. उसका मतलब समझेंगे कि उसका क्या मतलब है, क्यों नहीं मजा आ रहा. We also said कि he is lacking something. वो अपने अंदर किसी कमी महसूस कर रहा है, वी विल अंडरस्टैंड कि वो कमी क्या है. We will also understand that what made him to become restless, what made him to see the back, what made him to climb those stairs. कुछ तो रीजन होगा ना. What made you to come over to Delhi, old Rajinder Nagar, और कोई जगह ही नहीं मिली. What made you to, come over here and start preparing? So don't you think there is something who is pulling you towards it? Isn't it? There is something. There has to be something. Just as iron nails get attracted towards a magnet. Two people are getting attracted towards a magnet. खींचे चले आए. We will understand that. Because these philosophers had some wider perspective, some wider objective. ये सिर्फ कहानी बता के नहीं जा रहे, ये एक अलग लेवल की बात करके जाएंगे. But as of now, right now, we are understanding that we in this world are merely what? Copies. हम तो कॉपी है, फोटोस्टेट है. हमारा मास्टर कॉपी कहाँ है? कहीं और रखा है. उसमें से फोटोस्टेट निकलते जा रही है और हम आते जा रहे हैं. वी आर जस्ट इमिटेशन ऑफ आवर मोल्ड. हम तो कुकीज हैं, हमारा मोल्ड कुछ और है. Just as moon is having light, but it is deriving light from, in the same way, whatever reality we have, that reality is being derived from the supreme real. हम वहां से derive कर रहे हैं. Getting? Hence, Plato says that look, we are in this world. This world matlab, this perceptual world. Perceptual world means the world which we can perceive. This sensuous world. Sensuous world means which we can sense. This phenomenal world, phenomena, and this like empirical world. Empirical world means that which is subject to experience. The world in which we are living, इस संसार में, जिस संसार में हम रह रहे हैं, when we say संसार, then don't get confused with earth and all that. हम तो पूरे ब्रह्मांड में रह रहे हैं. और ये पूरा ब्रह्मांड, the entire cosmology is perceptual. I can perceive, I can sense it. And whatever that which exists in this perceptual world, जो कुछ भी संसार में है, that is subject to change. It is mortal, it is perishable, it is mutable, it is destructible, and it is impermanent. That is, this world is all about all change, because everything is continuously changing. Is there anything in this world which is permanent? Not at all. जो भी संसार में है, जो आया है, तो जाएगा. Everything is subject to birth and death. If everything is subject to birth and death, that means everything is impermanent, mortal. So perceptual world, the world in which we are living, the world of shadows, the world of flickering shadows. If this world is like this, then Plato says that this is not my interest area. Isn't it? Why? Because it is continuously changing. Here, everything is in flux. इसके बारे में क्या बोलूं? क्योंकि मैं जो भी बोलता हूं जो भी मैंने इंटरप्रिटेशन करा इस संसार के बारे में, that get changed because this world is also changing, and hence I am not able to have the knowledge. Which knowledge? Knowledge real, मतलब which knowledge? Which is certain, isn't it? Which is certain, which is objective, which is definite. ऐसी knowledge मुझे मिल ही नहीं रही, because whatever knowledge I get, that is based on this, but it is continuously, hence my knowledge also changing. मेरा इंटरप्रिटेशन यार रोज चेंज हो रहा है इस वर्ल्ड के बारे में. आज ये बोला, पता लगा कि फिर चेंज हो गया, बिकॉज हियर एवरीथिंग इज चेंजिंग एंड हियर सेम थिंग गिव्स कॉन्ट्राडिक्टरी रिजल्ट. This food is giving me nutrition right now, and after 4 days, same food will kill me because it has decayed. यहां कोई एक चीज परमानेंट है ही नहीं. This seems to be straight, but when dipped in the glass of water, it seems to be bent. क्या बोलूं इसको, क्या बोलूं, सीधा है कि बेंट है? यहां पर कोई चीज परमानेंट ही नहीं है. Hence, Plato says that this is neither basis of my knowledge nor object of my knowledge. ये मेरा नॉलेज का ना तो बेसिस है, ना ऑब्जेक्ट है, ना मेरा कोई इंटरेस्ट है इसमें, बिकॉज इट इज कंटिन्यूअसली चेंजिंग. मुझे तो एक ऐसी नॉलेज चाहिए, दैट नॉलेज विच शुड बी डेफिनेट, सर्टेन, यूनिवर्सल, ऑब्जेक्टिव. जब वो नॉलेज मिलेगी, उसके बेसिस पे फिर मैं समझाऊंगा इस वर्ल्ड को, और जैसे भी समझाऊंगा दैट इज नॉट गोइंग टू चेंज, बिकॉज माई एक्सप्लेनेशन वुड बी बेस्ड ऑन दैट सर्टेन नॉलेज. मुझे वैसी नॉलेज चाहिए. गेटिंग? मतलब मुझे ये पता करना है कि क्या है, क्योंकि मोल्ड ही नहीं बदल रहा. Getting? Okay. If perceptual world is like this, the world in which we are living is this, then logically it implies that there must be some world, there must be something. Okay? It logically implies that there must be something which is unchanging, which is immortal, which is imperishable, which is immutable, which is permanent. It logically implies a world which is permanent, uncreated, unborn, eternal, which is like eternal. And now Plato says that this is the transcendental world. This is the transcendental world of ideas or forms or modes. This is the world of modes. Forget about ideas and mold, पहले mold से ले लेते. This is a transcendental world of molds. Is that fine? So mold, our mold, master copy is existing where? In the transcendental world. And we are simply its copies. We are simply copies. मास्टर कॉपी वहां है, हम तो फोटोस्टेट है. एग्जाम में फोटोस्टेट नहीं लिखना है, कॉपीज लिखनी है. वी आर जस्ट कॉपीज, वी आर जस्ट इमिटेशन, वी आर जस्ट मैनिफेस्टेशन, वी आर जस्ट शैडोज ऑफ आवर mold. That is the transcendental world of molds, and he calls this mold as idea. It's a technical term. It has nothing to do what that vocabulary of idea, what we use in ordinary sense. It's a technical term. Or for, it's again technical term. Hence, this is known as his theory of, this is known as theory of ideas or theory of form or theory of being. What is the theory of ideas? Plato says, over and above the perceptual world, over and above this perceptual world is sansar se pare. Over and above this perceptual world, there is a transcendental world of idea or forms or mold. By idea, mold or form, he meant to say that essence, they are the essence of the perceptual object. Essence of the perceptual object. Ideas or forms से मतलब है essence of the perceptual object. For example, if cow is the perceptual object, if cow is the perceptual object, then its idea, its form, its mold or its essence is cowness. It is cowness. Hence, cow exists where? In the perceptual world. Cow यहाँ पर है. And its idea and its form and its mold exists where? In the transcendental world. अब आ जाओ. Hence, cow is what? Copy. It's a copy of cowness. Cow is imitation of cowness. Cow is manifestation of cowness. Just as moon is deriving its light from the sun, cow deriving its reality from cowness. Hence, with cave analogy, he establishes that world exists at how many levels? 2 levels. Dichotomy of existence. Perceptual world and transcendental world. We consider we are in the perceptual world, and this perceptual world is the world of shadows, world of copies, isn't it? And over and above, इससे परे एक संसार और है, that is the world of transcendental world of ideas or form. And by ideas and form, he mean to say that they are the essence of the perceptual thing. Hence, table is subject to change, subject to destruction, but it is a manifestation of tableness. Tableness कहाँ है? Transcendental. Transcendental मतलब beyond space and time. We are in space and time. ये location है, and time, date, age, era, century, etc. etc. And tableness जो है वो transcendental world है. Table will be destroyed, but what will not be destroyed? Tableness. Even if all cause of the entire universe die, still what remains? Cowness. Whenever we will have cow in this world, that will be merely manifestation, copy of cowness. Hence, by his theory of ideas, he reconciles, he synthesizes problem of being and becoming. Because some philosophers were saying reality of being. Another group of philosophers say, no, reality is of becoming. The greatness of Plato lies that he beautifully reconciles the issues of being and becoming. And that is theory of ideas or form or being. He explains this theory by various metaphors. ये सारे metaphors हैं. Metaphors you understand? Right? Who uses metaphors? Poets. Plato is basically a poet. Hence he explains everything through metaphors. हर कदम कदम पे metaphors मिलेंगे. Because basically he is a poet. Hence he gives a poetic kind of explanation. Hence he uses to explain this perceptual world as copy theory. We are copies. Imitation theory, we are imitations. Manifestation theory, manifestation theory. Cave analogy, cookies and mold, moonlight and sunlight. All these are metaphors. Are you getting? This is his theory of ideas. Plato, Aristotle, and each philosopher, I have again and again I have said that they are huge philosophers. खासकर प्लेटो एंड एरिस्टोटल, ये चलते फिरते अपने आप में ईच ऑफ देम इज सिस्टम. ऐसी कोई चीज नहीं है जिन पर ये दोनों ने कुछ बोला ना हो. गवर्नमेंट से लेके, विमेन से लेके, वैल्यू से लेके, मेटाफिजिक्स से लेके, गॉड से लेके, अल्टीमेट रियलिटी पे, सब चीजों पे बात करिए. And we can maintain one full-fledged library on each of them. लेकिन हमारे सिलेबस में प्लेटो के ह्यूज सिस्टम में से सिर्फ एक टॉपिक है, वहां से एक टॉपिक निकाल के हमारे सिलेबस में रखा है, और वो टॉपिक है थ्योरी ऑफ आइडिया. सिर्फ एक ही टॉपिक है. दसियों साल से क्वेश्चन इसी पे आ रहा है, राइट, अगेन एंड अगेन. बट इट इज देयर एक्सपर्टीज that they ask every year question on theory of ideas in a such a way that we are forced to think, यार क्या पूछा है. It is their expertise. So we just need to have conceptual clarity. वो क्या पूछने वाला पता है. And once we will take up PYQs, you will see कि हर साल ही ideas है. तो conceptual clarity आ गई, content आ गया, उसके बाद में थोड़ा सा रिशफल करना है. जिस टोन में क्वेश्चन पूछेगा उस टोन में हमने जवाब देना है. दैट इज नोन एज राइटिंग स्किल. राइटिंग स्किल डज नॉट मीन यूजिंग हाई साउंडिंग वोकैबुलरी, हेवी वर्ड्स. ऐसे ऐसे वर्ड्स राइटिंग में यूज कर लिए कि एग्जामिनर डिक्शनरी खोल के बैठा है, वो देख रहा है, चेक कर रहा है, यार क्या है. आई मीन दिस इज राइटिंग स्किल? नॉट एट ऑल. राइटिंग स्किल होती है टू व्हाट लेवल, कितनी जल्दी आपने क्वेश्चन को एड्रेस किया, कितनी सारी चीजें सिंपल सेंटेंसेस में एक शॉर्ट पैराग्राफ में लिख के दे दिया. तो एक पैराग्राफ पढ़े तो ही इज फोर्स्ड, यार सारी चीजें लिख दी इसने, लिख कैसे दी एक पैराग्राफ में. सिंपल वर्ड्स, शॉर्ट सेंटेंसेस, शॉर्ट पैराग्राफ, लोडेड विथ हाईएस्ट लेवल ऑफ कंसेप्चुअल क्लैरिटी. अब आ जाओ. We are not a student of English literature कि भारी भरकम और उस तरह के वर्ड्स लेने. और जो भारी भरकम वर्ड्स आ रहे हैं, ट्रांसेंडेंटल, मेटाफिजिक्स, दैट्स अ वोकैबुलरी ऑफ फिलॉसफी. दीज आर द अल्फाबेट्स ऑफ फिलॉसफी. जब बाहर वाला देखेगा ट्रांसेंडेंट, तो अभी यार ये कहां से यूज कर रहे थे, हम तो अपने सब्जेक्ट में यूज नहीं करते, ज्योग्राफी में तो यूज नहीं करते. भाई ज्योग्राफी की कुछ और टर्मिनोलॉजी है यार, व्हाई डोंट यू अंडरस्टैंड लाइक दैट. यहां पर कुछ और टर्मिनोलॉजी है. वी जस्ट नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट. सो दीज आर द अल्फाबेट्स. सो प्लेटो's theory of ideas, simple, over and above this perceptual world, there is a transcendental world of ideas. By ideas, he means to say that they are the essence of the perceptual thing. For example, cow is a perceptual object and its idea and form is cow. अब इन्होंने काव यूज करा है, स्टैंडर्ड टेक्स्ट बुक में काव ही है, हम काव ही यूज करेंगे, वहां पर कोई क्रिएटिविटी नहीं. क्योंकि बिना बात क्रिएटिविटी करने से क्या मतलब है? वी कांट यूज रैबिट. क्या मतलब? कोई मतलब नहीं है ना, क्योंकि जो कॉपी चेक कर रहा है ही इज ट्यून्ड विद काउ. वो काउ रैबिट ये ले. Why unnecessarily invite trouble? Anyway, so we have started our philosophy. First topic, Plato, will wind up here. Tomorrow we'll continue, same time, and we will extend that where exactly Plato wants to take us. Okay, fine. Thank you.